Welcome everyone to the 205th weekly MLP Drawing School live critique stream on February 4th? Yeah, today's February 4th.
Yeah.
At totally 6 p.m., not 6:08.
No, you
Don't
guys
tell our
have the
boss.
time wrong.
As you can hear, we have the ever lovely Aliclaw,
Hello.
and there's an ever fluffy Fluffy's
Hello.
and returning for, what, the fourth time now? We got Pixie Note.
They're in the team. They're awesome.
Hello there.
And of course we have the ever living of dead, the dead of the live, the living dead.
But brains?
For brains.
I think we got a heavy European showing going on here.
They're slowly taking over.
Pixie,
There's me and
what general area are you from?
Australia.
Australia.
Right, so I'm
Okay,
I'm
so
Very far away from
that
Europe.
coast, no, disconnected, set island sort of retreated away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can just call me one of the colonies. It's all good.
There you go. I mean,
This is the-
we were a British colony, weren't we? Damn.
Yeah. Originally.
We still answer to the Queen for elections.
All of you in here are those whose fate my country has touched.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hey, you haven't. Hey, Daddy Country. You haven't paid child support in how long?
Oh, no.
Yeah, where's my allowance?
Hey, I don't know economics.
I want some candy.
But you can't handle the candy, it's too sugary, it makes you go hyper. And complain about diabetes a lot.
Candy. And that's how this stream's going today. Oh, we got Little Funkman, Mr. Brickenwall, Maze. Hey, Mr. Brickenwall. Question about your art looking for critique. We've talked about it before. Is there any particular elements on those pictures that you're looking for, that you have questions about? Or is it... I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that second or.
Or is it
Or infinite
that
possibilities.
you made awesome art and you just want to show it to us?
Yeah. Or maybe it's Maybelline.
Or are you trying to rule the world with cute puns?
Nay.
I should get the Picato open. So I can see everyone's comments 30 seconds behind the questions we ask.
It's the best
how
kind
it
of
goes.
interaction.
Yes. A very delayed one. It's like talking to your own echo. Stand on a mountain and shout really loud. You have a friend. No matter who you are.
I think the Amazon Echo responds quicker than 30 seconds.
So I think I was trying to get the wisdom out before the stream, but I think this is just going to be a wisdom heavy stream.
Yeah.
She's also on more than just some coins. She was on bills for a while. Every election we have to send it to the Queen for final approval. And when she gives her blessing, then we're allowed to elect that person.
Yay.
All hail the queen.
We're pretty sure if she ever said no, we'd go...
Yeah.
What? I can't hear you over freedom and poutine.
Freedom poutine. It's like the upgrade to freedom.
Alright, I'm not getting a response from Mr. Brickenwall, so I'm gonna hop on to the first picture then.
But did you get a response from Mr. A Brick Wall?
No. It's like talking to a brick wall.
Except they're not responding. Except they're not responding. At least when you shout at a brick wall, your echo comes back. See, guys, I'm telling you, it's foolproof. It's a good strategy.
You seem like you have experience in this friend thing.
I mean, I'm not saying anything.
Alright, first picture up is Lemon Schmall. My happy girl. Ooh.
Woo.
Sorry, I had it muted. What were you guys talking about? Beautiful timing. Yeah, we're asking about your picture, if there's any particulars you had for the critique of it. We've critiqued both of those pictures in, I believe, the one we've critiqued twice in 2 different states, and then the second one we have critiqued once. Just wondering if there's any further questions you have in particular about it. So let's talk about this adorable horse. Well, Mr. Birkin Wall comes up with it. I'm just going to say brick in a wall.
Yeah, it's just how your brain works.
It's an adorable horse. Adorable features.
I really love how like loose and expressive this one is.
So smiley. So happy.
Horses
It
should
is
be
a
happy.
super cutie picture, and I adore it. It's so happy and small.
And as we were discussing, horses and sweaters are adorable.
Yes, so it's a hoodie streak.
Hoodie stream. All horses and hoodies welcome. If you don't have a hoodie,
Yes.
one will be provided for you.
Allie, are you paying for all those, or?
It's rule like whatever C of the plushie fort. But regarding
there's
hoodies,
like an asterisk.
everyone like how like not only is it comfortable laying around in blankets and pillows with plushies, but do so with hoodies. It's even better. It's an addendum.
All right, so I see a bit of evidence. No, I don't. Yeah, no, there's evidence that there's evidence that the brush they're using does have pressure sensitivity, but it seems to be shut off for almost all the lines except for the ones on the ear, like inside the ear. And the top of the ear, like towards the end of it. Wondering why you did that. What caused, or what made you want to not have the delicious flicks that are on the end of lines? Because I mean, if it's part of your style, cool, no issue there. If it's a technical issue, maybe we can help you with it. Or if it's, I just forgot about pressure sensitivity and turned it back on after turning it off for some reason. Weird.
If I had to wager a guess now, what's his artist's name again?
This is Lemon Schmall.
Lemon Schmall. Sorry about that. I'm not good with names. So, if I had to wager a guess, you are new to digital art. I'm looking at this and I see techniques where it feels like you're not using layers, or if you are, you're not quite sure how to use layers. So I'm almost wondering if working with the pressure sensitivity of a pen, you're not sure of the settings or how to really like look into it or evolve it. The big thing here would be, what I would want to do is tell you to look into the program you use. And because I don't know what program you use, I can't specifically help you in this moment. Nor do I feel like anyone would want us to ramble on about every digital art program there is, just to keep all bases covered. Yeah. But my biggest suggestion to you is there's tutorial videos for everything out there. And usually there's like a starter video, like how to use X program, or, you know, the basics of X program. Whatever program you use. I highly recommend looking into that, looking into the options you have, looking into the options you can use and how it can be used with digital art, like we're talking about pen pressure and layers and all that, and how you can draw that all together. And I wish I could talk more now, and again, ignore me if this is not the issue and it's something else. This is me taking a stab at it since you're not here. But yeah, I highly recommend looking into how to use programs, what the programs can do and all that. It's such an important part, learning your tools as well as learning art.
Yeah, definitely. I know there's definitely like a huge learning curve to wherever it is you want to do digitally, but I think just poking around with things, just figuring out what stuff does, how things work, and just to get used to the feel of drawing is very important. And I think just don't be afraid to not know how to do things. Don't be afraid to mess up or be inadequate at controlling the tools you have, because you will get to learn them eventually as you go.
So I've just taken the ears, pulled them out on the top of the head a bit. Generally, the way you have your ears, they're almost touching, which is kind of bizarre for how most horses are. Like if you look at Pixie Nope's picture down on the bottom right in this image, you'll see that their ears are quite separated and further down. Generally, we're sticking on the top third of the head for both of those positions of the ears. So I've just separated them a bit, given us a bit more space to stick the adorable manes through. And that's what I've done up in the blue, is I've just taken your mane and tried to bunch it up a bit harder while keeping the flow that you're doing together. The outlining in green is kind of bizarre for it because it's caused it makes the center sort of look like a fold into each other, and it would mostly be the opposite because generally horses are like mohawks, like Rarity, or they're more like toupees, like Trump. They sort of just flow off.
Those are the two options you can be.
Yeah, you either get a toupee or a mohawk. And they just sort of flow off the back of the head just behind the ears and sort of just fall over. So I've just tried to separate it out a bit to do that. Yeah. And that takes a while to get used to the flowy and bubbliness, but it's worth looking at and trying in your future pictures. Hello, Stratodraw. And that's about it. Yeah, as Ali was saying, play with your tools a bit more. Learn your application. That will definitely take a fair amount of time because, holy crap, some of these applications are confusing and crazy and all sorts of bonkers.
I mean, I've had Clip Studio Paint for almost 3-4 years now, and I'm still finding things out about it. Like, besides the updates they get, I'm still finding things out about it. So, like, don't feel like you need to learn everything at once, but always be looking to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, shall we move on to the next one?
Sounds good.
Alright, let's zoom out. So Mr. Brick and a Wall was asking about the color on their pictures. Let me just grab their horse.
Yay.
Horsey, horsey, horsey.
Always grabbing horses.
Rude.
You'll have to be grabbed if it's with a hug.
Only if they agree to it.
Yes. Otherwise, go leave them in their field to munch grass.
Alright, Mr. Brick and Wall's horse is down there. So, you might recognize this from other streams, but
I do recognize it.
It does look more completed. There's now some delicious shading going on there. Nice cell shading.
I recognize the character. I didn't realize it was. Didn't know that it was the same picture on it.
Yeah, we've critiqued it. So they're just asking about color at this point.
Okay.
So is it more so color as in the color palette used for the character's design? Is it shading? Is that what exactly with color? Because color is such a big subject.
Hello? Mr. Brick?
Voices are going out into the ether, and then we find out that they put us on mute again. Bucket filled.
I think that was about the previous picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just sort of trying to catch up in the chat a little bit. Where is our favorite brick wall? Find us a place to draw. Well, they don't seem to be responding.
No, they are not.
Are they in the chat? Yeah.
Well, here I'll type the question to them just in case they didn't hear it.
Good thinking for Ellie. Mr. Rick.
I hit enter too early.
What about the color?
That was supposed to be an interrogative. It's the Chill Tuesday stream of the MLPDS. Maybe Mr. Brickwall had to go check on dinner or something.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that connection's been bad on Picarto.
Yeah. Might be a stream echo. Always being let down by that internet.
Dang, Discord. Or wait, this isn't Discord. Wait. Still blame Discord. You could
Yeah, I mean, I get enough problems during like my D&D streams, like half the party cutting out. Yay, Discord.
Is it
Alright.
Discord?
That's, fine. That's just nice.
Well, we're gonna go on to a different person then, and if they come back, we'll be able to talk to them.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's top, middle, or Pixie. Do you want to do yours?
Yeah, that's how we usually do it.
Yeah, usually. I know.
Let's say Luna Ball for now.
Okay, Luna Ball it is.
Luna Ball.
All right, this is by V Programicky Ball. Luna Ball on the Moon. Hopefully, it can be recognized as content related to MLP and is good for a first try. Yeah, it's a Luna Ball. It looks like Luna. Well, at least her as a ball. Her cutie mark has migrated to under her eyeball as opposed to being on her butt. But yeah.
I mean, hey. In art, it's funny. Any try is a good try because you're doing it. That's the simplicity of art, and it's a hard thing to accept in your head because you're like, but what I have to make has to be amazing. No, it's like you're doing it. Therefore you will get better as long as you keep trying. Then it is a good try. So, heck yes. Now this is your first try. Your next challenge is to do it again and again and again and keep drawing if that's what you want. I don't want to force anybody to draw, but if you like drawing, the key is to keep drawing.
Now, I'm going to go the other way and force everybody to draw.
Yes.
So if you don't draw, I'm gonna come to your
Burn your
house.
house down.
I love it.
The first thing that comes to mind is this mane here. Mostly that all of the bumps are kind of a very similar size. So to get a little bit more of that lunar floaty feeling, it can be good to have different sizes in all the little shapes. Have some really big ones, some really small ones. That's
Okay, so I think my suggestion, look at the characters a bit more and try and figure out how they are a few identifying features from the characters. The fact you have the wings and the horn, that's a good call. Same as the mane and the cutie mark. But location on it does mean something. I would definitely take that cutie. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Is that an eraser? I'm using an eraser on it. I take that cutie. Oh, dark blue. I'll get this eventually. I take that cutie mark and move it to her butt. Move the wing up slightly up here, would be like wing. And then that should basically go with the ball like horse one. I know there's an entire series of horse balls. That sounds gross. There's an yes. I think the artist who did it stopped doing them a long time ago. They got bored, but yeah, they're entertaining, and they were entertaining for a really long time. There's not much to it, and as Ali said, just do more art.
I think I was reading your comments on our Reddit, and you said something about since you weren't getting critique, that means your art is 100% perfect. Now, I know you were saying that as in because you really wanted critique, and I totally get it. Like, someone please. So the thing is, you're on your first art. There's only so much we can critique. There's only so much. You're like the little bird that just hatched out of its egg. There's only so much we can feed you. There's specific things we can feed you, or else we'll overwhelm you and you'll fall out of the nest and die.
Very true.
You don't want that.
Whoa, that got gruesome.
I mean, I've seen it time and again. People coming into the MLPDS, they're like, okay, here's every guide known to man. Learn everything that has to do with fundamentals, or else.
It's too much to absorb. It's too much to consume.
Which is why at the beginning I will stress, if you want to draw, just keep drawing. This is your first time. Do 20 more.
Like
do 30 more.
Yeah, like I definitely had a sense of like studying artists from the very beginning, and I do recommend doing that. But like it is very important to just like draw and just keep drawing for fun, because I mean, like I did that a lot, and I think it worked out really well, because like I just made a lot of art that I enjoyed doing, and I didn't look back on it and think this was terrible. I look back on it and think this was terrible, but I loved it.
I loved every second of it.
It was fun, and it was a stepping stone along the journey, you know.
Yeah, keeping your motivation up
Even
is
for the time.
kind of the most important thing when you're starting out.
For sure, it is a battle, and it can be fun if you let it be. Don't be consumed by needing to learn everything. It's good to always be learning. It's like a child. Think of yourself like a child. Art is the most childlike thing you can do. Keep your mind open to exploring and wanting to do more things and learning and trying things, but being okay with failing, because you don't really think about failing. You're just like, whoa, that was a thing that just happened. That's crazy that it came out this way, and you're just like so involved in how the outcome happened that you learned from it. And whether to not touch fire again, or hey, look, I can explode a water bottle. That's pretty cool. Just have fun with it. Experiment. Do weird things. Push the limits. You're just starting. Figure out the endless boundaries.
It's magic. There it is. Magic of art and friendship.
The magic.
And if your stuff doesn't meet your expectations, if you look at it and you're like, this doesn't look good, that's all good. I've drawn about like 600,000 bad pictures and like maybe like 50 good pictures. Just keep pushing, keep going, and you'll get better. It's the only real way to get better is to.
It just takes a lot of. Okay, who's having wizard background?
I'm sorry, my phone is making so many sounds at me.
This is the magic of art, Fluffy. Don't ruin it.
Anyway, yeah, I completely agree. It's very, very easy. We see so many people coming in to the MLPDS and just in our lives, and just and some people are totally like on the ball and just drawing, and we see so much improvement from them, and other people are just have a lot of hard time getting over that initial like stress of like, I can't make this look how I want it to look. There are all these artists that are great, and I don't know how to make my art look like this art, and it can be very, very stressful. I mean, my sister was the same way. She like gave up on art many times because she was like, I'm always down on myself because it's not as good as I want it to be, and it's just like too stressful to handle. But so it does happen, but it's just a case of just continuing to persevere and understand that you don't have to be perfect right now. You just have to be doing things.
And you will learn. Don't think just because you don't get critique, you're still gonna learn. So don't be afraid of that.
I think right now your best friend for yourself is just being, like Ali said, open-minded. Just going crazy. Just like how else can I do this main? Like how else can I draw? Just trying all the things. Just do all the things and try them. And if they don't work, who cares? because you found out whether it works or not, and like you can try it again later when your skills are more adapted to versatility. But you're gonna get that like experience in being versatile from trying all the different things. I did not do that very much, so like I'm now like a little bit stunted in the like ability to do things creatively, and think outside the box, because I'm not as good at coming up with that sort of stuff. So just I definitely appreciate whenever I can see people sort of just going at it with this sense of like, what can I do? I don't like not thinking what will work and what won't, but what can I do here?
Yeah. All right, shall we
Try
move
all
on
the
to the next one?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, called Sir. Yeah.
I blame Bandcamp. I think that's where it came from.
You what?
Calling people sir or just responding with yes, sir.
All right, we got
No.
a horse under this horse, drawn by a horse in our horse chat.
Lies.
So Pixie,
There's so many horses missing sometimes.
Yes.
what's up, Doc?
Just wanted to draw my horse laying down and with a little bit of like a half blanket thing around them.
It's a very thin blanket.
It's like a fabric.
I
draped.
interpreted it as like magic blanket.
I can see that. Yeah.
Their back leg got lost in the curvature here. So I see what you're going for. I think I'll just leave a bit more of that hoof there, so you can do that overlap. You can leave a little bit of a gap to show that eventually it joins in with that hip. But yeah, it was definitely lost in the translation. Do you got like an army of birds?
Oh yeah, if you're hearing birds, that is almost certainly my background.
Alright.
I approve.
So I'm not sure if I'm like misinterpreting. I think I'm pretty sure I am. The way I sort of when I'm looking at this, I sort of see what I've drawn here in this green circle here is like the base of where like the hooves are resting and like the sort of bottom of the chest, and then I think it sort of goes off to the side, like she's leaning to the side a little bit. I think it's there is definitely some accounting for forwardness here as well. I'm just sort of trying to work out the placement of everything, if that makes sense. But yeah, I definitely feel like anything you can have to illustrate, yeah, the pony's going forward this way. There is depth here. Maybe it might be a case of bringing this to show a little bit of the three-dimensional. I don't know. Actually, I'm just experimenting.
Yay, experimentation.
Yay! It's always worth trying out. And hey, this like if it looks too far over to the right to me, then I would have thought like, oh, move everything to the left, but actually moving the hoof to the right to show some of the body underneath, right here, it might be the solution. I don't know. It's always worth sort of playing with positioning of things and just redrawing things over and over again, see what works the most. I definitely feel like moving that hoof over a bit shows a little bit more of the angle I think you're trying to go for.
Yeah, definitely.
Was there any reason in particular you wanted this one critiqued? Was there something you were struggling with, perhaps?
I think it was mostly those sort of areas, like the back, that living did, and a little bit of around the hooves that I looked at. Otherwise, not too much sort of stuff comes to mind with them. I think for the hair, I kind of want to move to a different style in the future, or one that's like more properly shows the different parts of hair, like size does.
Ask what's going on with the like squigglies you got in the nose here? I'm just curious.
I think I'm not 100% sure. That one in there is just one that I usually put on there.
I get the feeling that you sort of very like quickly and expressively sketch this out, and I very much appreciate like sketching in a looser sort of way like that.
It makes
If
me
you-
think of, because I see it on a lot of artist styles where they have that little pokes of hair right on the bridge of the nose. Because you see that in like horses, they have a little poke up hair, or, like just where the ridges are, you see some difference. And I think to me that's what I've interpreted as I looked at other people's art and looked at horses and all that. And there's just like that like change of how the nose slopes, but you don't really. It's hard to illustrate in 2D, so you do like little things in art to make like a, oh look, there's a slight change going on. It adds a little texture to the face.
Yeah, texture.
Yeah, so I feel like this, and again, I know it's a sort of a simple doodle, which is doodle of cute goodness. I feel like this eye is a little bit short compared to the other one, and it's very easy to do when working in 3D spaces. You can quite easily. Ooh, I'm trying to suss up my tools. Sorry. It's very easy to get that foreshortening a little bit messed up, and it's just something to learn. It's something I actually paid attention to quite early on, was when doing third quarter. Got to make sure that the eyes line up horizontally, that they're just shorter vertically. If that makes sense. Or the other way around. Yeah. Oh, she looks like she's got adorable glasses.
Yeah, those eyes are difficult to. It's difficult to do the shapes of eyes. I think I just need to
Yeah,
do some, like,
very
exercises.
much. It is. They are very tricky things. I think with ponies, and other cartoon styles like this, it affords a lot of like creativity, especially with ponies, because like the show style itself is very simplistic eye shape, and then I think the fandom is so filled with like OCs and different interpretations of the characters and just different ways of drawing the characters with different art styles, that we like all these different eye shapes and everything, that I don't think you get in most other cartoons. And certainly with anime, they're like it's a very refined, specific style, and I think I always struggled a lot drawing the eyes with anime, because it's like it has to be such an exact shape. And with ponies, it's definitely the same thing too, but I think it's a lot easier to get creative and come up with something that works as an interesting style. However, you sort of want to define the shapes of what you're doing, no matter how like cartoony or round or even anime like you want to make it. It's just a case of experimenting. You get used to the sort of third quarter mess eventually.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. I think that's mostly good in that case. Lots to look at and work on.
I mean, my final critique is that it's too cute. Be careful.
Yeah, careful not to give people heart attacks.
Okay. I'll keep it in mind. I'll either ramp it down or I'll ramp it up so that everyone just has heart attacks and can't complain anymore.
I see.
Take over the world.
Superhero or supervillain? We'll find out.
It's like Plague Inc., but cute ink.
Discord still has no sounds. Have you tried shaking your fist at it? Alright, let's go to the top right. The other horse hanging around.
Horse in a round.
But I can hear you guys on... Mr. Brickwall can now hear us. Can hear...
That
in
was
Discord.
that was before his other message, I think.
What was his other message?
Oh wait, never mind. No, he's not in Discord anymore.
Did he help out? I assume he's not Christmas Carrot, is he?
No, there's someone else.
Okay. So this is by Lock Ideology. Been having trouble with drawing poses, so I took a tutorial on legs and filled it in as exercise.
I feel scared of this character.
A little bit, yeah. It's like a punishing nun.
Da-da-da.
I definitely appreciate your studying of anatomy. I think you've got the right idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's always a good thing to see as well.
Absolutely.
So you've turned the chest to us.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It's a bit off-putting. Yeah. The leg, I think, overtakes the chest,
Mm-hmm.
and so the chest needs to be drawn in.
Yeah, basically what that pink line was. just because it's going to cover that front area of the leg. Beyond that, everything else looks okay from that. Your ears appear to be cupped backwards. I'm not sure if that's a style that you're going for. If it is, cool. If it isn't, I think I'd just turn that line that you've done here, the heartbeat going across the ear, I'd turn it the other way. That's going to make it look like it's cupped towards the front. You know, not nearly as long as I did that one. That one's silly.
So, I actually do want to talk about the leg they did, because I feel like you were close. You have the idea, but I think you're looking just at the leg shape and not how the leg is connected to the body. Because right now, if we look at the drawing here, there's a diagonal line going on, sort of like this for how the body is leaning. Right now, your body it's just off enough. I know it looks close, but it's the fact that you have it so much wider. The booty got a lot of junk in the trunk. This nun has been snacking, which is fine. It's absolutely fine, but the leg placement is actually going to be a bit closer. If we observe here, if we look at the tutorial, I drew a circle where the butt is. That is like one of the prime tools we have in the pony fandom, is the circles, because ponies are round and soft and marshmallowy. The circle is what defines them. So we'll go ahead and put the circle on your character's butt. Now, if we look at the tutorial circle and your character circle, you notice how the knee almost goes through that circle. It's almost, and I'm talking in it almost and not exact. It's almost like half where it connects. It's like halfway point of the circle. We look at this circle, and that angle's a little off, so I'll change it. Boom, halfway point on that circle. We also make an observation how the leg, that leg line here, goes into the circle. So this one goes in just a bit. This one is not going in at all, and it's also going towards it at the wrong angle. It's going much too deep, where the one up here is a little more gentle of a slope. So if I'm to observe my leg, my knee would be more so like this. It'd be a little closer into the body. And this, again, is all just through breaking down this here tutorial. I'm drawing over it. I'm learning from it. I'm not tracing it, but I'm learning from it. And the whole rant, blah, 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 tracing isn't always bad. Just don't claim other people's work, blah, blah, blah. We've said it 1,000 times. These shapes we can break down. Now, this next part of the joint, so I'm just following along. I'm adding more shapes. So this leg, okay, we have like this weird shape going on. Ta-da. And that gives us our little ankle. So I made it a little too much, because we notice how it wants to hug that circle down here. It's really hugging in. So I just erase and I correct. There's nothing wrong with erasing and correcting what you're doing. We're learning here. We're figuring things out. You're learning how to get leg anatomy better. So you're correcting as you go. So we got that. And like, okay, next shape. I see another rectangular oval thing with a little point at the end. Again, I'm drawing over it. I'm like, okay, I can use that shape in here. Just like, yeah, the little rectangle, blah, blah. I'm being very messy. I'm just using the basic shapes, but I'm still getting the idea across. And then, of course, we have our little point. And because digital art is so blessed, the eraser can just go through, and we can, look, I can even erase there. I'm like, okay, so we only want a little interaction. We'll go through, we erase all this, erase all that, and we're left with an approximation. Oh, look, there's something else wrong, and that's the wrong tool. I need to slant a little more, so we'll slant it in. We'll get it nice and cozy. We're correcting, we're learning, you know. In fact, that might be a little too wide, a little too high. Look at that. This is boring, I know, but this is what art is. You learn, you break down, you play, you fix, You're messy. You enjoy. You have fun, and sometimes you get a leg out of. Boom. Like. And you got yourself a pony. We can add the upper body circle. You know. All the shapes. Ponies are made of shapes. It's they don't want you to know it, but they're shapes everywhere. So just if you take anything from this, just really sit and compare to what you're trying to learn to. Really step back after you've drawn it, go next to it, put them next to each other, be like, okay, what is off? You know, and you don't have to draw it exactly like that for the rest of your life, but it helps you grasp the changes you do need to make. Like how this leg was far too pointy out here. How, you know, maybe it's a little too thick in areas, but then again, that can be a style choice. Just how, even I have some mistakes going on where the butt's kind of floating, or you know, over here the butt is a little closer to the ground and kind of smooshes with the ankle a bit. You compare, you break down, you look back and forth, and you will learn. Hopefully that ramble was helpful. I was trying something new today, so.
That's good. I think that May's brought up a big thing, which is that if you look at the front of the leg here and the kind of hoof here, they really mix together because there's not much of a difference in terms of color. So in all of these, the front of your hoof is very light, back of your hoof's very dark. So you could just have a bit of what they call like rim lighting on it, which is basically like really bright bit of light at the front to just kind of separate out and make the leg really pop there. And at this little area, just in here, instead of showing through the background, that would be dark because it's the other hoof, the other leg is on the back side, kind of somewhere, and covering up that spot.
I totally agree.
And May's also mentioned that the tail is a bit small, and you could definitely make the tail a bit bigger. Just sort of experiment, be a bit loose, try messing around with different shapes and see what works for your character. Oh, and when you're looking at like all this sort of anatomy stuff, you know, with like the shapes of the legs and breaking it down into like pieces and all that sort of thing, one of the most useful things that I've found personally is looking at pony tutorials and then also looking at real horses and kind of just comparing them a bit, trying to sketch real horses to sort of see what big shapes they have.
Absolutely agree. There's a really good tutorial out there that actually puts horse anatomy next to pony anatomy in like the simplified form. I'll try to find it, but it's really good, and it's really good to look at, so you're not like, but horses look different than ponies. It's like they're so similar. Ponies came from horses. There's so much to draw the real thing.
It is a stylized form
Stylization
of the true anatomy.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyone else have any other questions for us?
I found the tutorial if you want to quick flash it to the stream, Zomzom.
Oh, you want me to flash a stream?
Flash the stream with that tutorial.
Woo, take it off!
Flash us with your art wisdom.
Oh, this
And
thing
it's
is
a-
really good.
Yeah, I
Why
love
do you
this.
have all the good tutorials?
Ali is a wizard.
I'm secretly a
tutorials.
dragon. I hoard
And
tutorials.
she holds art knowledge. You have a magical ability. It's just like, hey, I'm having trouble with this, like, and it could be like the most obscure thing. Like, I've got a tutorial on that, and you just link, like, and like, here's 7 resources. And it's like, how do you do this? You're so helpful.
It's probably considered an unhealthy obsession, so don't be me.
I mean, I get it. It's useful stuff.
And if you want to find that tutorial, join our Discord because the artist sadly deleted it off of their DeviantArt, and this is all I could ever find of it again.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I know, right? It's such a good tutorial.
Art should be forever. I just had an artist that I like delete their entire DeviantArt gallery again for like the 3rd time. Sucks.
It's a lot of deleting.
Yeah, like it would kill me to do that, right? Like go through, even if I didn't love my like comments and followers and like all my art and everything, and I actually like had like a mental thing that made me hate it all. Like to go through and like specifically delete every picture and all the comments that were on it and everything, knowing it could never be brought back again, is awful. You have to go through each one.
So much work.
Yeah, it would also be extremely tiring, and I'm lazy. You know, also that I love my art part.
All right. Well, seeing as no one else has fired work at our foreheads, we're going to call it a day. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you again next week.